Shalom, shalom, saints. It's glad to be back with you guys once again. Once again, glory, hallelujah. We got 6 people in here. Can you guys give us a sound check? How are we coming in? Deacon, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you. Yep. Can you hear
All
me?
right. Yep.
Testing,
Why
testing.
everybody's giving us a sound check? Let's talk. Another week. We're back here as we get ready for the Shabbat. This is what we call prep day. The world calls this Friday. Starting just for people who are new with us, from Thursday evening sunset to Friday sunset, that is our prep day. We are preparing to enter his rest. And the following day, and this is day 6, so we are going into day 7 when the sun is set. So we do keep the commandments of the Most High Yah. And so this is our prep day, and people that follows the way are right now laboring to enter his rest. So anyway, just talking enough to make sure we get a sound check, and we appreciate everybody being with us again for another Shabbat. Deacon, how's your week been as we warm kind of guys? I'm telling you, I don't know how Pat. It's got to be just the Holy Spirit. That's all we do. I'll be thinking like, I don't know what I'm going to be talking about today,
Yeah.
and but I just say, Father, you says don't worry about what you're going to say, that He would give us the word. So we
We
have a
have the
word.
the the,
Go
the
ahead.
greatest cheap book. We have to say his words, not even our words. So
Exactly. It's just the Bible. So if you get the Bible, it'll that Holy Spirit that's within us will spark and things will start coming out. So I expect this to be another great live I don't like to say show because this is not a show, but
yeah.
this is us just giving us a teaching. And
Right. It's
so
not show as in like entertainment of like something being
I
fake, but it is
yeah,
a podcast style, you know,
podcast, yeah.
live stream, I guess. But what you see the title there. What inspired this? Because I know we
You
talked a
know,
little bit this morning.
yeah, so you guys can see the title. First of all, I want to give all praise to the Most High Yah, guys. And I say that with all pure sincerity that I thank Yah. Yeah, this is not for show. I literally, in the privacy of my own heart, just says, Father, thank you. See, I have been fortunate to live long enough to experience what it means to live on community, to be with brothers and sisters who are like minded, and to be able to just see the beauty of living on community. And so um, I just want to give all praise. I want to give praise to the Most High Yah. I thank you so much for his son, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Messiah. Thank you for the blood, because if it wasn't for the blood, I would have no way to be able to get to the Father. It's truly through Yeshua HaMashiach that I'm able to come boldly before the throne, and that all my sins and my iniquities are covered by the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach. If anybody wants to know what I believe, that's what I believe. And once again, I truly thank Yah for Pastor Charles Dow Jr., the infamous Pastor Charles Dow Jr. Now, he's not infamous to me, but to most, he may be infamous. But I'm so thankful for Pastor Dow. I'm thankful for how Yah has worked in Pastor Dow, how he's worked through him, how he's given Pastor Dow the strength for 3 decades to continue to walk out this truth, for us to be able to see in our lifetime what it looks like to be a man who truly is a man after Yah's own heart. So I'm thankful for Pastor Dow. I'm thankful that he continues to endure, that he continues to be strong, steadfast, and that he continues to keep the word sharp. And what I mean by sharp, he does not dull the word. He brings the word as is. The word is already sharper than any two-edged sword. And Pastor does not soften it. He doesn't care if people are trying to do a coup. People are trying to tell him the people are hurting. Pastor is going to continue preaching the word. He don't get caught up in people's faces. And trust me, there's real faces out there when you preaching and you start seeing people throwing their shoulder, rolling their eyes, disgust, people not giving, people stop coming, people spit, these things will, if you are weak, if you're faint-hearted, it will make you cower. And you see that a lot in Christian churches. In Christian churches, it's not led by Yah, it is led by Jezebel women. I'm telling you right now, in the 16 years that I experienced in Christianity, I can now see the contrast difference between being in a righteous ministry and being in a ministry led by Jezebel. Yeah, you had a pastor, a male pastor, but he was being controlled by his wicked Jezebel wife. She could be quiet, she could be loud. It doesn't matter what brand. A woman is behind all those men, turning the neck of that head on how that church is going to be ran. I know that to be true because every Christian church I've ever been in, they never held the women accountable to being in their role. Heck, how can you do that if you don't even hold your woman accountable? But not here at Straightway Truth Ministry. Starting with Pastor Dow in his house, his women are in order. Starting with Mother Carol all the way down to his last women. So anyway, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for the Most High Yah. This is real for me. This is not just, this is like a membership club, or this is real. This is real. This is faith in action. So we're going to be talking about community in action. And I've been doing this. Huh?
I got to ask Elder real quick. Did you wear that shirt on purpose?
I wore this shirt on purpose. How can I not? Common unity. But I must say,
very intentional, very intentional.
Yeah, but I can say, guys, now as I bring the word to you and what the word says about community, I can say I've been doing this for 9 years. Is it 9 years now? Almost, yeah, because 2017, huh? 2018. Okay.
Well,
okay. It's going on 9 years, 8 years for sure. I got 8 years in. Would you say I got 8 years in?
Yeah.
No, make sure we got the map down now. It was 18.
Yeah, 2018 is when but I mean, really, we were fellowshipping starting in 2017. So I see why you're using that.
I get confused at 17, but okay. So we were living. You guys moved in 18.
We met you in December of 2017.
But we kept Shabbat every time from 2000.
From that point on. Yep.
Yeah, and then eventually evolved into a community. So I'm thankful. I'm really thankful, guys. So, Deacon, what do you want to share? How was your week? How are you doing?
Good. We've just been, getting busy because we got events coming up soon. So it's just been on the phone nonstop for the last few days, getting in contact with people and and all that. So, but it's been good overall. Praise Yah.
That's good. That's good. What's your take on community? I mean, you've been doing community longer than I have. How would you say your experience have been? The good, the bad. I mean, you still here, so
I've said
somewhat good.
Yeah, I think it's just like any family unit. I mean, this is you're part of a larger family group, and so I would say that just like any family, you're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have your good and the bad, but it's all worth it. It's all there to refine you. And I think, and I'm going to show you some, and during your reaction time, you'll see that even the Gentiles speak about community, and you really can't be refined, and you really don't know who you are until you get around other believers, other people who can hold you accountable. And so I enjoy it. I do see community as being part of the faith in terms of being saved, because if I didn't have community, I would not truly know who I am on the inside and the things that I got to work on unless I had my extended family, the larger family there for me in the good times and the bad times. So it's been beautiful. It's been a beautiful experience.
And I gotta say,
I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah. And I can't even say, I hope my audio is coming from Yeti. Okay, this. I can't even say that, doing community for so long, even though I have my own women and sons and daughters, it gets blended. I'm not going to lie, because it doesn't matter. Anybody that I'm responsible for, I don't care if it's in Africa, if it's Tennessee, if it's here. When I get a call, I'm just thinking, you know what I'm saying? I'm already making thinking like, oh, is everything okay? You know, I mean, one of my brothers, I was talking to my woman, one of my women. I would say I appreciate brother TJ because he's in Tennessee, and he's a part of our community. But for now, strategically, he's down south. But every time he calls, he always calls and says, "Is this a good time?" Or he lets me know it's not an emergency because
Everything's
in my
fine.
mind, because sometimes I'll call him back later. No, he could be in trouble. So
Right.
so he calms me down immediately. Says, "I'm not in trouble. I'm good. Is this a good time or whatever?" So, but it's like it becomes. I mean, it's like, you know, I know, man, and I'm speaking from a leader perspective. So when you're so responsible for everybody, it's hard to just say, "Oh, let me just take care of my family and let me just worry about my family." I mean, and you know, I hope, you know, that and I maybe when I was in Christianity, I thought about that so much. They always say that it's family and then ministry, but I believe it's community. I don't know what ministry, but ministry, community, and then family. You know, but my family is a part of that. You know, and it's not
Right.
about this individualistic. Oh, this is my family. I need to do this. No, my family is learning and growing. They're seeing me by example. Most of the things that my family is going to learn just by my example. You know,
Right.
do I get to have family time? Well, guess what? I am having family time. It's just community time. So
family time.
when am I gonna, like, I tried to do that whole thing in the beginning. I said, okay, let me have community time and then family time. But it was just too much. I'm one person. Like it's like a man who's a polygynist. It's like, okay, I'm trying to have time with this. No, we're gonna have a family meeting, and then when I have our, you know, our time, we'll have our time. But you can't really separate it. You know, for me, I have not been able to separate that. Now, I try to do something, but it's, you know, I probably fail miserably. I could do a better job, but right now, my mission is to do my desires to do the will of my master Yeshua HaMashiach. So, and part of that is community. So anyway, that's just where I'm at. I mean, what say it you? And then we can go on. But what say it you? Is that
Yeah,
something
exactly.
that
I mean,
you
I
can
think
relate to?
that's I
Because
think
I
well, I
do
think
call on you a lot too. So
yeah, I think that's the right mindset to have in this environment. You have to look at it as we're all family, because as soon as you start isolating yourself and becoming individualistic, now your priorities are going to be for you and you alone versus the whole. And I think that that's something that it's not going to work in this environment. If that's the attitude that you want to have, it's not going to be successful in the grand scheme of it all. Does that make
that's
sense?
it. That's it. Well, guys, like I said, I thank you guys for being on here. I see a lot of people on here. Shalom, family. Welcome if you're just tuning in. Well, guys, let me start. As you can see, the title, Community in Action. Today, we're going to let Scripture define what true covenant, and I'm going to talk about that word covenant before I go on. I mean, before I go into the teaching, but covenant community looks like. This is not cliche, not sentiment, but daily life. Acts chapter 2 and chapter 4 will show us a people living together, caring for one another, rearing up sons and daughters, protecting elders, sharing resources, making sure no one lacks. And we're going to anchor everything here, then measure our own experience. So we're going to give live examples. Like I said, I have 8+ years doing community. Deacon has more than that. But we're going to measure with our own experience by the word. So we're going to use the word. And it's funny. We're going to start here in Acts chapter 2. I want to know how many Christians can actually talk about Acts chapter 2, verse 42 to 47, what we're about to talk about. See, we used to hear about it, but they preached about it, but no one understood what they were dealing with at that time during the time of Acts. They didn't know, because no one practiced it here that I know of. They don't practice it, but we do. And so now we're walking as they walked. So we're truly walking, following. He said, "Follow me as I follow Yeshua." We are literally walking as they walked. So when we start reading this book, it no longer becomes a book to just say, like a Greek philosopher, what is the meaning of life? There's no of this stuff. We know because they're talking about what we're doing today. And so we're going to go into, but before we go into Acts, I want to break down this word covenant community, because one thing I notice is you have a lot of people, and this would inspire you. Asked me earlier, Deacon, what inspired me? You hear all these people who's left the ministry, who's left community, and they talk about now we're called. I mean, the same people who want fellowship, I'm talking for years. Now they're saying this is a cult. Some people are saying that, we did all that time there and we didn't get no retirement and they didn't give us anything and we left with nothing, which is a lie. Not one single person has ever left community with nothing. That's a flat out lie. I can tell you that right now, but these people come in and it makes you wonder, what were you thinking? Like, I even had to ask some of the saints here. I said, did you join here thinking there's a retirement plan if you decide to leave? Like, isn't that how I asked it, Deacon? How did I ask it this week?
Yeah, I think that's how you.
And what'd you tell me? I asked you that question. You tell me. I'm gonna ask you again, Deacon. We just deja vu.
Coming into community, it was never about it being transactional. So the question itself is just, it's almost odd because I didn't come into this as an investment plan, like financial investment plan. I came here because of fellowship, and we want to live together as the word describes in Acts.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. There wasn't no plan B when I came. This is the plan right here. This retirement for me is community. Does that make sense? So
that's why I'm here. Hey, right. I wasn't here because of retirement. I'm set according to the world. I'm set for, like, even after my divorce, I can live like this 20, 30 times over. Would you agree, Deacon? Can I live like this on my own without community? So obviously I'm not doing this for no retirement because I got my retirement. I played in the NFL, made millions of dollars. So I can live like this 20, 30 times over. And not even in the way I spend is because of the way I spend. So maybe that's why. Maybe some people, they can only live maybe 2 lifetimes because they're just spenders. But right, Deacon, or you could agree. Yeah. How much, Deacon, do I spend on myself? You think I just lavish myself and I just be what? Just rolling in what they call Bugattis. I drive Bugattis and
yeah, that's the accusation, right? You're living a lavish lifestyle. We're all living lavishly, I guess, at that point.
But anyway, you hear people and it makes you wonder, how did you walk into this stuff? And so it sounds like people came here casually, like you're coming to work. Yeah, we work, but this is not the typical type of work that you do at in the world where they have 401k plans, retirements, benefits. No, this is totally different. This is where you are coming in here because is not just a contract. This is a covenant. And so let me break down covenant. Covenant is not casual, okay? I just looked up. I said, what does covenant means? Because that's what the Bible really talks. It talks about not just a community where people come together. Let's come together. Let's vote. And then, let's vote on what color the carpet is going to be and what do we want to do. And you do you and everybody just come and go as they please. No, you're coming into a community and it has rules. This coming in, right? So it's a binding promise before Yah. This is a binding promise before Yah. A relationship with obligation. And if you disagree with Deacon or anybody disagree, I want you to put in a 2 if you hear me saying things you disagree with. It says a relationship, and if you agree, you can put a 7. See if you're paying attention. 2 if you disagree, 7 if you agree. 7 for heaven. Okay. Anyway, I don't know why I picked 2, but anyway, it says relationship with obligation, a commitment, not just feelings, right? Loyalty over time. We belong to each other. We belong to each other under Yah. In the Bible, covenant always included promises, responsibilities, faithfulness, obedience, consequences, blessing for keeping it, and discipline for breaking it. It's more like a marriage, you know. I mean, that I like in community like that. It's like just like when I take on a woman or a woman comes into my home, I ask him, I mean, are you in this for the long haul? I mean, isn't this to death do us part, or are we just in it until I don't like it anymore? No, this is a commitment for life. Deacon, have I not several times, I know I've done it more than 2 times, have I not ever sat the whole community down and asked, how many of you guys, even the people that's left, how many times did I ask, not how many times, but have I asked the people, do you believe that Yah has sent you to this community, sent you to this ministry because of Pastor Dow, obviously, but by Pastor Dow, but came to this community? How many people have you ever seen anybody that did not raise their hands in all the years? In all the years, I've always asked that question from time to time.
Yeah, you've asked them multiple times.
And has everybody always stood up? I even say stand up so you can see who's in it, who's not, right?
Exactly.
And has anybody never stood up when I asked that question?
Never, no. Everybody's always stood up.
I said,
raise their hands.
How many of you guys believe that Yah has brought you to this ministry? Everybody stands up.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys that's following, that's on this thing right now, I want you to put in a special, I'm going to put a different character, number 94, just because this is a different question, not the 72.
I wonder where that number comes from.
I don't know, but put 94 if you believe that Yah has brought you to this ministry. I want to just see. We got 41, but I want to see on here, comment if you believe that Yah has brought you to this ministry. You see, look, we got 94s. And if he did not bring you into communion, just put 0. Nope, he didn't. Because you could just be here, just, you know, this is open to the world. So anybody could be on here and say, I'm just watching. So put a 0 or just, you know, stay another. But put 94 if you believe that Yah has called you to this ministry. And I see 41. So I just want to see if it's going to be at least match that a little bit or whatever. But let's see. Let's see who believe that. See, and this is how I asked the question. See, look, people just respond 94. 94, and now they may think that this KGB, these are all the fans of KGB. No, it's just the answer in a poll, you know. And I use 94. I like that. That's how many sons and daughters, I will say that I would like to have. That's my desire. Maybe one day I'll see that. But at least it's a goal to shoot for, right? So, okay. So this is what I'll ask people. Do you believe that? I said, okay. Do you believe that Yah has brought you to this community? How many people? What did they say, Deacon? Did people say no, not to this community? I was supposed to be at this community or that community or whatever. Right. I said, what did they say? Did everybody stand?
Yep.
Everybody stood. I'm talking, and guys, these are for even the people that was once here, that's no longer with us anymore. This is what they said. So now they said this is what Yah said, and now they're saying that Yah told him that this is no longer good. I don't get it. I don't get it. I even says, do you believe that Yah has put me in this position to be the head over this community, to be an elder in this ministry? How many people, what did they do, Deacon? Did people say, nah?
No, they all acknowledge.
All acknowledge. All acknowledge. This is the part that blows me away. So you said that Yah, you believe that Yah. So did Yah lie to you? Is Yah now become a liar? Are you now blaspheming Yah? Are you blaspheming the Holy Spirit? You say I was led here. And now you all of a sudden change your mind. See, this is what I'm saying. People lack the fear of Yah. You said, yeah, like if you just said, no, I just came here because, you know, I like the music. Okay, that's different. Now you're here because you like the music. See, if I came to a church because I like their music style, and then all of a sudden they decide to go from R&B style to now more like country, and then I decide to leave, it makes sense. Why I'm leaving? Why I leave? Because they changed. They're not doing what I came here for. I came here because I like the worship. I like the sound, the R&B. I don't know if I'm even using the right sound. So help me out, Deacon. You know more about music than I do, but I'm just trying to give you an example. But something changed. I came here because of this. But now you change and you're not doing that anymore. So now I'm leaving. See, wouldn't that make sense if I leave? If something has changed?
Exactly.
If I bought some shoes and I like the way the shoe thing, then all of a sudden they just started to decide to change the design, the feel, and everything, and I stopped wearing that shoe, it makes sense not to wear the shoes. But when you come into covenant, there's no like, oh, and now I don't like this anymore. Well, now you become this or this is no. There's promises that we make that we would do, and there's promises you made when you came into this way. No one under my watch has never not been taken care of. And I don't know anybody who they may lie. We've had people in this community saying that they weren't taken care of, that they were used, treated like slaves. Have you ever seen back in the days, the white man hugging his slaves and say, I love you, brother, kiss him, give him holy kiss? Have you seen that? Have you ever heard stories of that, Deacon? Maybe.
No, not that I'm aware.
But I treat the saints like they're my slaves. This is off the chain. So let's get a covenant. So covenant community, this is what it means. It means a group of people bound to Yah and to one another, living under his instructions, committed for the long haul. How many times did I ask, Deacon, when I would tell everybody to stand up, how many of you guys only plan on to be here for 5 years? I tell them, stand up if you plan on to be here only for 5 years. How many people stood up, Deacon? None. I would say that. Didn't I say that? I said, maybe some of you guys just here, you want to just be here for 5 years, you got a 5-year plan, and then bounce. You're going to bounce. Then I'll ask again, okay, maybe it's not 5 years. How many of you guys plan on being here for just 10 years, maybe 7-10 years, and then you guys, you're gonna check out, retire, whatever. I don't know. How many people stood up, Deacon?
Right, none.
Are you guys seeing this? I literally would ask these questions because I want to make sure that everybody's here, because I know I'm here. I know how long I plan on being in here. I'm gonna be buried as a Straightway Truth Ministry member. I'm gonna be here. You see, that's my commitment. That's how I'm looking at it. So I'm going around. I go 15. I feel like Abraham. Okay, if it's 50. Okay, if it's 40. I'm going through these numbers, and then finally I just says, okay, well, how long? Maybe you guys have a number, and I just haven't hit the right number. Maybe you guys can tell me the number too. You give me, how long do you plan on being a part of this ministry? You put down the number. Give me the number of years. Maybe it's 5. Maybe it's 17. Maybe I hit the number. Maybe I went over. If I say 20, you may say, well, I can't say nothing because he didn't hit my number. So you tell me. So I'll tell you about, hey, Deacon, how many years you plan on being here then? Because maybe I'm not hitting the right number. I want you guys to hit the numbers too. Tell me the number that you guys are going to think. And if it's infinity, just put, I don't know, put 120. 120, we know that's about the end right there. So 120, if you want to put, but Deacon, what did you say when I asked you the question?
Yeah, I mean,
and if another number, pick your number. Pick your number. Maybe 17, maybe 17 and a half, maybe 17.2. People get technical. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tell me.
Yeah, for me, it's generational. I hope generations pass.
Dang, you went generational. You saying you want this to be a generational thing, outlive you. You want your children's children. You want your sons and your sons' sons.
Exactly, because what then? Why else am I doing it then? Any other response means you're for sale. That means you have a number.
That's what you said. I remember you saying that. Can you break that down? What you mean? Anything else is you're for sale. Break that down.
I think I can't remember where I seen it. There was a video, but anything that's not committed for life, that means you're for sale. So that means you'll break at the sound of a dollar number, for example. You'll break at the sound of years, 5-10 years. But if it's not for life, then you're for sale. You're for sale. You can be bought.
Now that's when you become a slave. See, that's a real slave right there, right? The slave was bought, you know. But listen to this, guy, because I'm not a slave to money. I'm a slave to Yeshua HaMashiach. All my brothers and my sisters, we all claiming to be slaves of Yeshua. Now, hey, even the slave master, and now he's a good master, but even he puts people over his slave. Look at Joseph. Joseph he was in jail. He was locked up in prison. And guess what? Even the warden put Joseph over the other guards because he was found faithful for whatever reason in that world. And this has nothing to do with anything spiritual. This is in the Mizraim in Egypt. I want you guys to put that number in there. See, okay, some people put forever. See, look, he stop forever. You know, I like that. I like that, Sister Barb. Hallelujah. You know. Some people see, and why do I do that? Because I want people to understand. Because see, you can't say it because you don't want that. You worry about your words being used against you. So people don't want to say the word. Oh, I don't want to say nothing because then that can be used against me. See, that's what do you always hear me saying? I said tape it, clip it, hold it, boom. So when that moment, Yah forbid, let it be far from me that I would ever quit this walk. Let it be far from me that I would ever consider quitting. But if I do, which I won't, but if I do, use that video and plaster it. I'm telling you right, I always make plastering tape so that maybe there's somebody out there plastering, boom, putting all the videos so they can have a mirage of just me saying, man, I would never leave. And they're gonna have this collection. I promise you, you're gonna die. You're gonna die with those collections because you're never gonna have to use it. You're just not. Because I'm gonna do what I said I'm gonna do. I'm in this to the end. See, when I came this way, you guys have to understand. When I came this way, I had money, I had fame, I had a big family. I had a wife of 16 years, I had 7 boys. 1 daughter, a dog, and then I had one in the oven that I never even met. Do you understand? I was this close. I could have easily have maintained that. I just had to be willing to be controlled by a wicked ass woman, a Jezebel woman, a narc. I had to be willing to forsake Yeshua HaMashiach, and I could have kept all of that, and I could have been governor of Wisconsin if I wanted to. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Easy, because the people that make it to the top, they have wicked women right behind them. This country is controlled by wicked ass women, straight up, and they're Christians. They're Christians. I know this for a fact. So I could have done that. So why? Because I know what it's like to be rich, famous. And if I thought it was all that, I would have stayed there. Why would I come this way? But then I go to Humble Straightway Truth Ministry. And what I saw there, I did not see where I used to go, where I could go, where I had access to go. Didn't see it. I saw so much love. Saw the spirit of Yah hovering over that land. Saw love for the Most High. I'm talking about with my own, maybe it's natural eyes, but it felt like my natural eyes. I saw with my own eyes. I felt it in my bones, the love of Yah, literally. Like I'm telling you guys, I can't make this up. That's why I say, because just like I told my brothers here, see, the more you keep going the straight way, the more you live this lifestyle, the stuff that you experience in the beginning, it starts to fade. And it's not that it fades because it's not as important, it's not as good. Because it becomes normal. And you got to remember because you have to understand, when I was coming from death to life, you immediately saw the contrast difference. But when you live this for 8 years, it becomes normal. It becomes common. The lifestyle become common. And so that's why we're warned, don't forget your first love. Don't get weary in well-doing. Because you forget all the good things that you saw. You was able to see so much clear because literally, guys, I'm telling you, I've been with the best of the best, whatever the best of the best is of this world has to offer. I don't need to go all the way up to the top to realize it's empty. But when I came supposedly all the way down and went to Straightway Truth Ministry, oh my goodness, it was life. It was impactful on an internal level. I've never in all my years ever experienced that type of love for Yah, for the Most High, for the Creator, and a love for one another. I've never experienced that type of hospitality. Wow, man. So, man, and people have the same thing I feel when people come here. If this is the first stop they come, if they come to Wisconsin, they immediately, I don't care if they're non-believer, they can tell there's a difference between out there and here. I had a guy, a good friend of mine's in the world, not in the faith. I played ball with him. I'll say that. And he came over here because he had to come here and get something. And I asked him, I said, hey, when you come here, how does it? He says, oh, I tell people, don't talk about Kabir like that. Do you even know him? Have you even been there? He says, I'm in a house that I'm supposed to be afraid to be in. And I've never experienced so much love. That's what he said. So much. I mean, he can describe what he know. He couldn't say a peace that passes all understanding. He couldn't say all he could just say, I'm coming into a place to pick up something and I can feel the love and I'm supposed to be afraid, but there's so much love. That's how you describe it. How many people you know have described this, Deacon? Please. Because people may think I'm crazy. You know, Elder could be, he be just having Jasher moments and making stuff up. Deacon, am I making this thing up?
No, we've had multiple vendors come here.
Vendors.
It's peaceful. Obviously, I think what Roger's probably been one of the ones that has had the most experience here, but he sees the unity. I mean, Greg, when he comes and deals with your father, he says the same thing. You know what I mean? And then the list goes on and on.
They just go and they can't describe. They don't. They just like they know that this is not something. When you come here from out there, you know there's a difference, and that's how I know that I'm. Go ahead.
What did your brother say recently when he visited?
He just said they're well mannered. He just said
well mannered, yeah.
Well mannered. He just,
everybody.
And what makes
me describing honor there, the respect that we have.
Yeah, the respect. They show him honor and everything. But what makes me know that I'm in the right track when people come, because we're supposed to be hospitable. When people come here and they describe it, and I know what they can't put their finger on it, but I know what they're experiencing. Because what they're experiencing here, they don't experience out there. And that lets me know that I am following Pastor Dow as he follows Messiah. You know why? Because that's what I experienced when I went to Straightway Truth Ministry, the hub. And the same feeling that I experienced going there is the same experience that people are going here. So that means we're doing something right. I don't care when people leave the ministry. People can leave the ministry even after people have left my community that I'm over. People still have that feeling like, wow. So how do you explain that? A good tree produces good fruit and a bad tree produces bad fruit. And a good tree cannot produce bad fruit and a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. So if and this ministry is so bad, because I'm telling you right now, I follow Pastor Dow as he follows Messiah. And if I'm following him and I'm now getting the same experience, or people are getting the same experience that I got when I visited, what does that tell you? Exactly. Look at the fruit. See, that's the problem. People don't know how to tell good. It's like, do you just eat anything? Do you examine the fruit? Can you tell when a good fruit is and a bad fruit? But in Christianity, they make you a dum-dum. They make you spiritually retarded that you can't even decipher, because in Christianity, they're lying to you all the time. And you think good means of how it makes you feel. And you can't even decipher what good and bad is because you don't know the word, because you don't have the Ruach HaKodesh in you. So, man, I'm telling you, man. So I love community. Let me keep going through here, guys. And then we're going to get into the word here. But sharing life is not just meetings. See, in Christianity, they have Bible studies. That's the closest they can get to Acts chapter 2, that what we're about to read. The closest they get is a Bible study and bringing potlucks, people bringing food and bringing potluck. That's as good as it's going to get for them. And you only get to do that once a week, on Wednesday, maybe, if I remember correctly. And then on Sunday, and then that's it, you do it. And then that's only for a season. You don't do that all year round. Hell no. Because everybody got to go on their vacation. You got to do their thing, boom, boom, boom. So that's only maybe at tops, maybe 8 weeks. A good Bible study, maybe 12 weeks. That's really the committed ones, the elites of elites. But after that, everybody wants a break from one another. So those are the serious Christians, the ones that met twice a week. You got the Wednesday Bible study, and then you got your regular service, and then the more spiritual ones, they had prayer maybe on another day, and man, led by women. I'm just telling you, that's account. Look at, they're accountable to one another, protecting the weak, raising sons and daughters together, honoring the elders, correcting each other in love, bearing burdens, refusing to abandon each other lightly. This is what it communicates. This is what covenant, I'm talking about the word covenant community. It communicates permanence, loyalty, responsibility, shared identity. See, now when people say, "Oh, those are Kabir's brothers," and we don't even look like brothers, but now people just say, like, "Oh, they that's part of Kabir's group." See, when they see us, they know that's my brother. They already know, like, "Oh shoot, you got one of the brothers, you got one of elders, Kabir's brothers. He's coming. I don't care where they are, what state, we're coming. We don't leave anybody behind, for real." You know, George Bush has something, leave no child behind. Bullshit. Well, maybe their children they do that with. But it was shared identity, obedience to Yah, not transactional. Didn't my Deacon, did you not just say this is not transactional? It's not transactional. I'm not here as long as I like it. See, a lot of people think that community and coming this way is about being here until you don't like it anymore. See, everybody's good, but then as soon as you get rebuked, all of a sudden, now you get offended. Blessed are those who don't get offended in me. Not a consumer religion. This is not a consumer religion. That's why all these big churches are falling right now, because they're consumer, having their tea and all. Anyway, I can go on and on. Let's go into the word here, guys. I'm going to try not to be here too long. We don't have a lot of scriptures here, but Acts chapter 2, verse 42 to 47. Read.
What's going on here? Hold on. There we go.
If you guys agree with the covenant that I broke down, type in an 8 for me. Type in the 8. I want to make sure you guys are, see you guys here. Give me an 8. And please like this, guys, if you do like what you're hearing so far. It just helps with the algorithm. I don't know, just to get the word out, guys. We're called to be a light. We're called to go make disciples of all nations, baptizing in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So we're doing it. See, look at that. But brother Tristan, but you guys are here to serve me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's off the chain. But if the last time I checked, and you can tell me, I think we serve one another, in our roles. Everybody have their role. My role is to lead, to lead this community, to bring discipline, and when discipline, to bring blessings or praise when people are doing good, and to to make sure everybody has what they need. That's my job. So I'm serving the people. I can honestly say, and if any of the guys in the community here can say, but I would say I'm the greatest servant here at Straightway Praise Land. Now when it comes to Straightway Truth Ministry, that goes to Pastor Dow. I can't beat that. I would never beat that in my lifetime. Now, or at least while he's still. But right now, when it comes to Straightway Praise Land, I'm the greatest servant. Deacon, maybe Deacon said, "Nah, you be calling me to do everything." Deacon, maybe you could probably attest to that. Tell me, what say you?
I've seen you stay up late multiple times, doing everything very with diligence.
You see, that's eyewitness right there. Eyewitness. You got Xavier saying the same thing. Yes, you elder, hands down. You see. But I have a bunch of people. Yeah, I have a bunch of servants. I'm not gonna lie. I have a house full of servants, just like Job. I'm like the modern day Job. I have a house full of servants. Our foundation is called His Servant. I should put an S in there, but at the time I was just thinking I'm His servant. That's how I see myself, as a servant. I'm the servant of the Most High Yah, and I have a house full of servants. So the claim is true. You're hearing it from me. Yeah, we have a house full of servants. So what? What's wrong with that? Yeshua was a servant too. Did he not say he was a servant? Did he not say whoever wants to be great among you must what? Be a servant?
Right.
Right. Man, look at all the people. Look at these are people that have eyewitness will tell you that and this is not me bragging. I gotta tell you and what that means, because the one that's leading, it's not about being a leader. See, first of all, I never asked to be a leader. I had no desire of being a leader. I just had the desire to do the will of the Father. That's it. I just wanted to just be obedient. I just want to hear those words, well done, good and faithful servant. That's all I wanted to hear. And in doing all that, it put me in a position to be ordained as an elder, to be put as a head of community. And I've been doing my very best to do it with diligence and to be faithful with the responsibility that Yah has given me through Straightway Truth Ministry. And so that's how you get to the top, if that's the goal. And I'm not saying it's bad to want to be in leadership, but I hope you don't come here to say I want to be in leadership so I can sit at the nicest table and have people serve me and be able to walk in the room and be greeted with special stuff. Now, those things come with it, but you better be ready to serve. You better be willing to get to be willing to get to the lowest of low and the highest of high. You better be able to do everything. Is there anything that I wouldn't do, Deacon, if I had to get in? If we've been charged as a community to get something done, and I'm leading it, is it going to get done with or without anybody? If everybody say I'm not going to do this, you think it's still going to get done, or you say, well, we can't get it done?
No, it's still going to get done.
It's still going to get done, especially if I have, breath in my lungs. It's going to get done. It's going to get done. I mean, anyway, I can go on and on. So let's read. Let's go to Acts. Can you put some of these comments? Because I don't know if people see it. Can you put some of these comments of what people look what Tristan says? Look, just if you can just tag some of the stuff. Elder gets up. Can you read that?
The elder gets up before most people in the community and is up later than most, working late into the night. That's true. Yep.
Any more else? These are people that live life with me, not the people that just out there just making noise.
Yep. TJ. Elder's a nonstop servant, lead servant. Yep.
See, he sees me. He doesn't say, "Oh, Elder Kabir is a king." Now he gives me reverence. He gives me respect, but he understands that I'm a servant. Now he understands I'm the lead servant, but I'm a servant. No doubt about it. I am a servant. Give me one more. Third witness.
Yeah, too. Xavier. Yep.
Yep. Xavier, yes, you are elder, hands down. There you have it. I guess they're on payroll. They do get an allowance. You know what I'm saying? Hallelujah. Yes, elder. You see, look, even in Africa, they see that. How do they see that all the way in Africa? She, you know, that's one of my women right there. And she knew, she saw me how fat in 2 weeks. I didn't even know I was going to do that. 2 weeks, we put a community together for the saints. 2 weeks. What I gave to a brother out there for a whole year, I'm sending him money. 10,000 shillings comes out to be what? About 80 bucks to make sure his family was taken care of. And all he had to do is put a community together. And the whole time he's pocketing it. Not doing anything. And I even got a TV so they could put it in there so that people could come and fellowship and do that stuff. Nothing. And then now we try to get him, and he wants to be catered to. Like, well, like he's the shit. I said, man, this kid, look. He was supposed to be there helping me to lead that community. And you know something? I said, no, we're not gonna put up with this stuff. We're done. And guess what? The community is still running without him. See, he thought so lofty of himself that I'm because I'm the only brother and they need me. No, we don't need you. We just need Yeshua. That's all we need. We need people who are faithful. And guess what? That community is still being ran. It has its challenges, but it's still being ran. And now we got a place that if pastor come now, he don't have to stay at a hotel. We have I'm talking about a nice place that pastor can come. We right in the midst of Israelites. They don't know they're Israelites, but they call them the Bantu, a Bantu tribe. I'm talking about Israelites, but they don't know it. I mean, I'm talking about the lost sheep of Israel. We are literally smack down in the village of the Bantus. You can't make this up. Where he was living amongst the Hamites, Muslims. There were Muslims and there were Hamites, if I'm not mistaken. Not bad. I was like, who are the people? It was all Hamites. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just trying to tell you that it was hard to get to that location. Oh my goodness, it was hard to get to that location. You got to take boats and boom, and you couldn't even take an Uber to even get you there. Now, I'm not saying this is easier, but it's way easier because Hannah, she has to still go to work, and she still gets to work. It's a little bit longer, but hey, it's worth it. Hallelujah. All right, let's read. Let's get to her. Less of me, guys. I'm sorry, guys. See, community, I've been doing it now. I can speak with conviction. This is not, I just want to tell you guys, I live this now. And a lot of people out there, especially those Christians, and even some of these camps, they don't do this stuff. I think Straightway is probably the only ministry I know in America that's doing it right. That I know of. I'm not saying they're not. There's people who do community, but this is the one I know is doing it right. Doing it biblically, according to the word. And we're going to read it. Read.
And they were continuing steadfastly in the teaching of the emissaries, and in fellowship, in the breaking of bread, and in prayers. And fear came up.
So stop. Just slow down. See, this is what we do every day. We're meditating on the teachings of Pastor Dow and the teachers, and we got elders and Pastor Mir with the Lions Den, Ask the Elect. We got teachings, and we do fellowship. We break bread together. We pray. See, you don't get to do this in Christianity. This is just a once a week thing. We get to do this every day, every week. We live life together. And I know it's something, it's a break bread and then prayer. I thought that was because we always pray after we eat. I know we do that all the time after we break bread. Do we not? Yep. Keep reading. And what?
And fear came upon every being.
And fear can't see, the people here have the fear of Yah. See, fear is on us. The people that's here now, I'll just tell you, we just had a brother 6 months ago leave, and I'm telling you, man, it's just been so peaceful. I mean, it's not like we don't have challenges and deadlines and stuff, but it just seems so peaceful. Like it just feels so much more like we're together. Is that me? Like I'm thinking, like I gotta pinch myself. Like Man, so that means, are you telling me that whole time when that brother was here that we were being oppressed and didn't even know it? But it's still better. It was still better than what we got in the world because it's so drastically different. But then now we just spend it's like we went to we're going up a little. I feel like we're higher than we were before.
Exactly.
Am I making this up?
No, not at all. That was the witness across the whole community.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I mean, I still have to get on the guy, but it's just so different. It's just like, I can say, hey guys, get this thing up. Yes, elder. So much more love.
Straight up.
But before, when we had that one brother here, it was so much contention. And so, I mean, it's like life is already hard enough as it is. Okay, guys, life is hard. I mean, there's challenges, there's things you got to get done, there's things we got to do, and it's already hard. But then you having somebody fighting with you, being contentious. That makes it even harder. Now I can deal with these fights and I can take on more because I don't have all this internal fight. It kind of reminds me of being delivered. I feel like Straightway Praising has been delivered. And what I mean is, I remember there was a time that I was dealing with a lot of rejection, anger, arrested development. There was things that I was dealing with. And the only way I could cope with it was football. Football was my outlet to deal with all of the things that I had to deal with growing up, whatever. However it got in me, insecurities. And then by the grace of the Most High, I got my deliverance. And all the things that I was dealing with, arrested development, boom, coming out of me. Rejection coming off me, all of these stuff coming out. And then it went from being internal to now I felt like because I was filled with the word, I could keep things out. Now, there were some things I still had in me, like a wicked woman. I still had little things in me that I haven't dealt with. It wasn't until I came into the truth that eventually got out and I got delivered. And now I'm guarded. I guard my heart. Not in the sense of being bitter, not trying to love again. It's better to love than to never love at all. But now I'm just more guarded. I can keep things out. And so now it's things coming from the outside trying to get in that I'm guarding from. And so this last year doing community, we had something inside and we didn't even know that we had something inside of our community that was causing the oppression, but it was just it was like a little dripping, like a dripping faucet. Well, does that make sense? A dripping faucet, like a contentious woman is like a dripping faucet, right? To like drip, but it wasn't like you could see it. It's just a little drip because you didn't get it all the time. It was all good, and then boom, another drip, another drip, another drip, and then finally that drip start coming out a little bit more, and then until it started getting identified that this is a spirit. Guys, separate from this one. When you mark this, say, guys, this is it. This is where the dripping is coming from this guy. This is where unbelief is coming. And then finally, when he left, oh my goodness. It's like, wow, it feels so peaceful. Now, guess what we're dealing with as a community? We're trying to keep this. You know how the Bible talks about that when you cast out a devil, and when that devil gets casted out, that spirit gets casted out, that it wants to come back, and it comes back with 7 other demons, worse than that, worse than the one that left, because he saw that the house was clean and in order. Guess what? We have the same thing. We got people trying to bring things onto this ministry, bring people worse than what we had in here. I'll use the example CPS. I'll just stop right there. And he knows who he is. Trying to break up a home, trying to have one of our young ones removed, who literally he was here during the time when he was praying, him and his sister praying that they will get a father, praying for a family. And now he's trying to get this Babylonian sister to come in here and rip him out of here. And do what with him? And this is all he knows. All he knows is this ministry. This is all he knows. And now you got somebody who once lived here, walked with us, now trying to get him ripped out of here. But guess what? By the grace of the Most High Yah, we was able to keep them at bay. They haven't been able to come in here. But that's what I'm talking about. These are the people that, I mean, I be telling, I told somebody at the Y, I told him that what this one brother, he said, and he was shaking his head like this. This is a white dude shaking his head like this. He said, that is effing evil, effing wicked. I'm just telling, oh yeah, guy left. He was not happy. And he called our brothers an N-word and boom, boom, boom. And now he's calling CPS. He's just shaking his head here in the store like this. He said, that is effing wicked. Even the people in the world, the Gentiles even can see how wicked that is. Man, let me just stop. I'm sorry. I'm just, hallelujah. Keep reading.
And fear came upon every being, and many wonders and signs were done through the emissaries. All who believed were together and had all in common.
All in common. Mm-hmm.
Sold possessions and property and distributed them to all as anyone had need. And day by day, continuing with one mind in the set apart place and breaking bread from house to house, they ate their food with gladness and simplicity.
With gladness, simplicity of heart. Had one mind. See, now we here at Praise Land now have one mind. But when we had the other, we always had, it was like a contentious spirit. And I would never allow that type of spirit again. If I see that again, I would be able to identify it faster. See, before, because it kind of came in, you talk about the wheat and the tare. And I remember in the beginning, they come to say, well, how do we know if we're wheat and we're tare? And it came from that guy, wheat and tare. Now I know, like, oh, so you can't tell. And see, it took time to identify, like, oh, that's a tare. That's a tare. That's why we always kept butting heads from day one. But we look like we were together, look like we're both wheat because we want to be wheat. We don't want to be tare. We look like wheat and we find like, oh, it's mature. Now we can tell the difference between a tare and a wheat. All you guys at Praise Land, that's what you saw. You saw, especially the ones who've been here in the beginning, that it looked like a wheat, but it showed itself to be a tare. See, the Bible be using these words, man. And now I get to see what it looks like. And at the time, you didn't know it. It's like you learn from the things that you suffer. You get more wisdom after you. It's like with much wisdom comes sorrow. It's like, oh, I didn't. That's why as you get older, you don't have time for all this BS because you can see it coming before it even happens. There's things that I know now that if I would have known what I know now, I would have even married my my first wife. I just didn't. I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's a personality thing. And the whole time I was seeing the spirit, and I didn't know how to discern fruit because I surely wasn't taught it, and I wasn't learning that in Christianity. And so there's things that I saw. I'm talking about like let me give you an example. I just want to give you an example. There may be somebody out there that needs to hear this. Let me share this because I can't keep this. It's not like I want to throw anybody, but I remember one time when I was in college, and this is when I used to practice celebrating birthdays, like for real. But I still wasn't a birthday guy. But for sure, I don't even do birthdays now. But I was trying to pretend my woman at the time. She was we weren't legally married. And I was trying to surprise her. And I remember now, guys, I'm about to age myself real quick. But remember when Palm Pilots came out? For any of you guys at that age, I know, Deacon, you don't know what I'm talking about. But you even know what I'm talking about when I say Palm Pilots?
Yeah, my dad had one. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So this is when Palm Pilots would come out. So I got this Palm. This is in college, guys. This is what stipends and stuff like that. And I got a Palm Pilot, right? I got this nice Palm Pilot for my girlfriend at the time. And it was the thing that you could put inside like a purse, like for a girl, right? And I sent it out weeks to her mom because I was maybe I was in the league. I don't know. Maybe I was in the league. I think I was in the league because that's why I couldn't be there. I was in the NFL. I was a rookie in the NFL, and I sent it to her mom and I say, hold it, but don't give it to her until I tell you because I wanted to make her think I forgot her birthday, right? And so. I mean, the day hasn't even really like come to an end. And it's not like but anyway, I remember her mom just blowing up my phone. Like, can I give it to her right now? please. I mean, she's really, I'm like, what? I said, no, mom, just hold on. And I said, please, please, can I said, okay, mom. I mean, I don't know what she was hearing. I don't know what the urgency was. I said, okay, give it to her. And I remember I'll just also, I remembered your birthday. You know, obviously the fact that her mom had it, you know, I didn't forget card. I mean, I did all the whatever, all the romantic stuff or whatever. And I remember her mom just really and she was pissed off that I would have forgotten about her birthday and everything. And we're new at this, you know. This is and anybody knows me, I'm more on the guy that I'm not a big spender. And so if I did that, that's like a huge deal. And she was pissed off. I'm talking about it wasn't like, oh, okay, I'm upset you forgot. This is like she was pissed off. That right there should have told me, because as I go back and see that's how everything revolved around her emotions. I mean, birthdays and date night. Here's a perfect example of how that translates. So how that translates to, that's her character. This is how crazy it is. So my dad moved in when we moved into this house in 2010. And I don't remember, but my dad was a lot more mobile. We can leave him by himself. And she made a big deal about taking her out on date nights, right? And so I took her on our date night, and I made sure it was every other week, because every week was just wearing me out. Not just the pocket, but just wearing me out. But we did every other week. And I remember we were on the date. We got a babysitter. I had to pay for babysitters. My dad was okay. If he needs something, he can just call me, so he could take care of himself. Took her on the date. And then, everybody knows my dad's dealing with Parkinson's. So my dad fell. I think he fell with the babysitter, and they're not accustomed to dealing with my dad. He falls. He can't get up. I know, no pun intended, but he couldn't get up. And I think he may have wetted himself. He just needed help. And he calls me, I need help. And he's a big man. He's even bigger. And we have a little girl babysitting. And so at that time, I'm very protective of who can see my dad and things of that nature, and in a vulnerable situation. So I remember saying, we got to go. And she got upset. You see, I can't even enjoy my own date night. I'm talking about I'm like, are you freaking? Where is the heart? Where is the love? I mean, it bothered her that we had to interrupt our date night because my dad is on the ground, and she felt that she was being robbed, even though we go on date nights every other week. And I can go on and on and tell you this type of behavior. But if I would have just known what I saw that first time, I would have never experienced all the other craziness. But that is a bona fide Christian woman. I'm just telling you. These are the stories that you don't hear about. And then when you tell Christians this stuff, well, they have their excuse. They want to keep their Jezebel. But yeah, somebody said selfish, straight up selfish. Not one time did she ever cook for my dad. Not one. I can go on, and I will tell you more. But I'm just telling you that's the type of stuff that I was not able to see because I was spiritually blinded. I was not able to identify fruit. If I saw a woman do something like that, and then believe it, in African culture, you could tell what type of woman somebody is. And if I would have been listen to my mom, my late mom, I would have not been with her, because she actually tested her and told me she's not a good woman. She actually liked my previous women, because they're more old school and stuff like that. But we'll go to that. But I just want to, it's just stuff like that. Like even in the African culture, they have ways to test people to see if this person will make a good wife or not. But I wasn't listening. I just said, oh, mom, you don't know. And, she's different. I try to protect it and end up everything my mom said came to be true. You know what that test was, Deacon?
I think it was the grocery cart.
The grocery cart. So now I'm probably giving a bunch of women to pass the test. But if you grew up in an African home, you're gonna know this, right? So my mom took, my girlfriend, my wife to be, to the store. They go into the store. My mom pulls the cart, and she's pulling the cart with her. And now I know what to do, but my girlfriend at the time, she didn't know what to do, and she literally let my mom push the cart the whole time. Not one time did she ever offer. Let me get that. But the girls I had before that would know, and they were black, but they would know. No. They will automatically say, no, let me get that. She then okay. Maybe she didn't miss it. Maybe she didn't see it. So then one time my mom was just sweeping, pretending to be sweeping, sweeping something. She's sweeping in front of her. What do you think you're supposed to do? If you see an elderly woman sweeping and you a young sister and you trying to be, this is gonna be your future mother-in-law, you see your future mother-in-law sweeping. Tell me, sisters, what would you guys do in that situation? Who's there? Let me just see. Let me give you guys, maybe I don't know. Let me see. You just sit there and watch her, and guys, put something in the comment. What should you do if you see a woman that's your senior sweeping? Man, are the sisters like, okay, brothers? I don't know where these sisters come in. Maybe they'll do exactly. Soon, okay. Soon says laugh out loud. I don't know. Maybe that's what she would do. No, I know that's not what she means. She don't mean that. Sisters, tell me what you guys would do. Okay, do I need to give you the option? And then in my culture, I'll go and ask if I can help. Ask to help her out. Put this up here so you can see. Put Elfrida and Ice.
Yeah, it's on there. I can make it bigger there.
Yeah, make it big. Oh, is it on? I don't see it.
You don't see the comments?
I see it on the side, but keep putting it on the main screen. Offer to help. Yes. Give me 2 or 3. Come on. In my culture, I will go and ask if I can help. Elfrida, get the one from Africa. See what she said. This is ask to help her out so she won't have to do it. See, this is normal. See, another one asked, entreat and take over. See, these are stuff that you would do. And she literally grabbed the broom and help. Exactly. So this is what you're supposed to do. And she failed that test. And so my mom was telling me, I said, Mom, she doesn't know our culture because she was Filipino. So I'm all like, this is why you should listen to your elders. Even if you think that your mom is wicked or this or your mom is emotional, listen. They're telling you something. They can see way further than you can see in your own little finance. I'm only 24 at the time, 23, 24. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know shit. And I should have listened and took heed. Because at the end of the day, okay, maybe my mom is not perfect, but she loved me. At least she loved me enough to then want somebody else to take advantage. She may take advantage of me, but no one else is going to take advantage. And she has the right to take advantage of me because I'm her son. If that makes sense. Wouldn't you agree, Deacon? Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. So listen to your elders. All right, keep reading. I digress, guys. But I'm just trying to give you guys these tips because, no one ever told me. So I'm here just sharing. I'm putting myself on the sword and just letting you guys know these little things do matter. And then there's some women that know how to pass that test, and you got to catch them on other things. There's always, I don't care, even Africa, you can catch them. You just got to be discerning. That's why Yah tests us. He always tests us to see if we love him. Read.
Simplicity of heart, praising Elohim and having favor with all the people. And the master added to the assembly those who were being saved day by day. So when you see people on community, you're seeing people who are being saved. That's another thing I was like, wow. It says, and the master added to the assembly of those who were being saved. Add, not subtract. It didn't say subtract from the assembly who are being saved. See, those who are being those who are leaving community, those who are leaving this ministry, they're showing themselves to be lost, being condemned, judged, cut off. So when you see people say, hey, get out, come out, sinking ship, get out, they're telling you to go to your death, to your spiritual death. That's what they're telling you to do. They're sending you to condemnation when they're telling you to subtract, leave the ministry that they once called home. They were once called brothers and sisters, and now they're telling you to leave like they do, to make you condemned just like they're condemned. So the master added to the assembly. Please show me somewhere in the book where it says Yah subtracted from the assembly of those who being saved.
So those who are leaving the assembly are showing themselves they're no longer saved. How? What are you going to do? You going to put Yeshua back on the tree again? Are you going to put him back on the tree again? Nah, that's not going to happen. You put your hands on the plow and then you turn back, you're not fit for the kingdom of Yah. All right, keep going. Sorry, guys. I just thought that was interesting. He add, not subtract. And so you got all these people who's left and they think they're saved. See, they're deceived. They're reprobate. They are reprobate. So when you hear them speaking, you hear in a reprobate mind, speaking all that in their hearts. They're deceived. We're still where we are, and they're not. All right, let's go to the next one. Their life was a teach. Literally, our life is teachable. Daily fellowship, shared resources, needs are met. The fear of Elohim is present on community. Joy, simplicity. These are the stuff. So when you're not feeling joy, simplicity, you got to ask. And first, look at yourself in the mirror. Am I the one that's causing the lack of joy and simplicity? And then once you examine yourself, you better look around and see who am I hanging out with, who spit in my ears. Hey, man, did you hear about Pastor Dow? Hey, did you hear about this? Did you hear this? Okay, that's who you need to watch out. You go tell the leadership, hey, this man's going around causing division. You see? Causing division makes the environment more oppressive. And growth came from Yah. See, Yah added to the assembly. He adds to, Yah doesn't take away. Yah doesn't add to the assembly by taking away from the assembly that he created. He adds to the assembly. I talked about it last week. Look at David. David literally was upset. He said, Saul, if this is of Yah, please have mercy on me, or something like that. But if this is from man, may they be condemned from keeping me from the inheritance of Yah. See, David didn't think that there was an inheritance away from Yah's people. He believed being with the people of Yah was the inheritance of Yah. But then you got people here in our time thinking that being away is good. See, now they're calling good evil and evil good. One time it was good to be here. Now being apart in the assembly is considered evil, and being out of the assembly is considered good. See, I hope you guys are understanding how to look at fruit. Not about how you feel. What does the book say? Yah added to the assembly. So when you see people leaving the assembly, they're not saved. They're unsaved. All right, go to Acts 4. This is a shorter verse. Read this, 32 to 35.
And the group of those who believed were of one heart.
One heart. Slow down. I'm going to stop here. One heart. One heart. Not two hearts. Not two. One heart. One what?
And one being.
And one being. One soul. One being. Oneness. Not divisive. Not two. That's why you have one head over a community. And then over the whole ministry, you have only one head. And that's the founder that Yah started the Straightway Truth Ministry through Pastor Dow. This is not about man worship. It's about being one. How can you be one where everybody's being contentious? We're called to be one, not contentious, not try to start a coup. Yah established Straightway Truth Ministry obviously by the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach, but through the man Yeshua, Pastor Dow. It was started with him, through him. So if anybody in their mind think that you're going to be greater than Pastor Dow and be a part of this ministry, you're not. You're really not. You're out of your mind. I don't care how much resources, how big you think you are, how smart you are. You're not going to undo what Yah has put together. This is a straight book. This is not about worshiping man. I worship Yah. And I respect Yah's order. That's what you see. So when you see me giving respect and honor to Pastor Dow, it has nothing to do with the man. Now, I love the man personally, just to be honest. But it's really because of my conscience and fear towards the Most High Yah. I don't worship man. See, that's a sin to worship man. It's a sin. But we're accused of worshiping man. And all the people that left, guess what? They showed you that they were worshiping man. That they really wasn't doing towards their conscience towards Yah. They were doing it towards their conscience towards Pastor Dow. And then when Pastor Dow no longer was making them feel good, not that he was trying to make them feel good, and once he rebuked them and called them out, all of a sudden said, well, I don't want to be here anymore. Instead of looking at it as, when my father disciplined me, do I stop loving my father because he has to discipline me because I did something wrong? No. I still love my father. You know how many ass whipping I got from my father? Sure didn't like it. But it made me who I am today. I love my father. Deacon, do you believe I love my father?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
How do you know I love my father? Because I said, huh? Because I said I love my father. That's why.
I see you take care of him.
I don't get upset because my dad had to. I mean, I don't like the discipline at the time, but look what it produces. It produces good works. So when Pastor Dow has to get in you, you should consider it. You should rejoice that you have a pastor who loves you enough to tell you that you're doing something wrong. Don't count him as your enemy. Do you know how hard it is to correct people, guys? Even when they deserve it, it's still not easy to correct. So when somebody takes the time and the energy to rebuke your ass, you should consider it a joy. Now, at the time, it's not going to feel joyful. I know I saw, even what Pastor gave you a chewing, Deacon.
Right.
I mean, shit, I didn't want to even be in the room. That's how bad it was. But you know what I said? I like, dang, Pastor loved Deacon David.
He does.
Deacon, do you believe he loved you? Or you don't think he loves you because he rebuked the shit out of you so bad? I didn't even want to be. I'm like, because I'm the head committee, I had to be in there and watch it. I was like, you know how when you discipline one of your children and the other ones don't want to look?
I know Pastor loves me.
See? And I saw it myself. I'm like, dang, shit. But Pastor took the energy, came up with the discipline because he loved this man. He loves all the people that he's responsible for. I've witnessed it. This is not me I'm just telling you guys because it's not like Pastor going to say, oh, guys, feel me. Let me film you rebuking this person. Let me rebuke you. Guys, I'm just telling you, this is the example that I have. All I'm doing is what I see Pastor doing. I've been able to do greater things because of the things that I've been able to see. I finally see somebody living this book out. And so I do it here. When I run into issues with the community, guess who I call? I call Pastor Dow. Pastor, I have an issue here. How do I deal with this stuff? Pastor's the one that tells me how to deal with it. He gives me tools. I said, Pastor, how do you know this? He says, what he says? He says, you know humanity. He's been doing this for 30 years. 30 years. There's a lot of wisdom. That's like me not listening to my mom when she was telling me this woman won't be good for you. It didn't matter how I felt about my mom. Pastor's been doing this for 30 years. I would be a fool if I don't listen to Pastor Dow when it comes to this walk. He's been doing this for 30 years, and he's still standing. But then I'm going to listen to these buffoons who's left the ministry, can't show you that they're not committed. They're not faithful. They're faithless. Man. Read.
And the group of those who believed were of one heart and one being. And no one claimed that any of his possessions was his own.
See,
but they had all in common.
No one claimed that any of his possessions were his own, but they had all in common. I mean, everything we have belongs to the community. Now, at the head, I determine who needs it, what needs to be used or whatever. But guess what? Everybody has access if they need it. If they need it, trust me, they're going to get it. Deacons, all your needs met?
Every single one of them.
Every single need. Okay, Deacon, be honest. Is all your wants met?
I want for nothing. God provides
You
all my
want
needs.
for nothing. Okay. Hallelujah. How about this? Those who are in community here at Praiseland, are all your needs met? Don't lie. If all your needs are met, put 100. And if it's not 100, put down the percentage of where you think your needs have been met. If it's 50%, put 50. If it's 20%, put 20. And we talking about needs. Needs. Come on, guys, give me some numbers. It should be watching. Is all your needs met? Let's see. Look, we got somebody from Tennessee, and this is a guy that played in the NFL. I promise you that he used to live in a better home. He lives in a storefront house now. And he said all his needs met. Look at this. Needs, 100. Xavier, all my needs met. Look at, boom. Who is this? See anybody. See, everybody's 100. All your needs met. Now, if the book says, and all their wants was met, then we're going to have some problems here. Because I don't give to people once. Now, Deacon, do you have any of your wants met? Or I mean, I know you don't want for nothing, but do you have any wants that's met? Or is it just all pure needs and you're just happy just to get the needs and you don't even have no wants?
I have more than enough.
You have more than enough. More than enough. You see? So not just needs, but we get wants too. But I'm required to make sure that everybody needs are taken care of. You see? It's all coming in hundreds. So what about all these naysayers that's out there? All these naysayers, they're saying that their needs are not met. Where's that coming from? Hundreds. Well, I was thinking I can get 70, 90%. It sounds like everybody's needs are met. Keep reading. And remember, all this giving was voluntary. Voluntary giving. Read.
And with great power, the emissaries were given witness to the resurrection of the Master Yeshua. And great favor was upon them all, and there was not a needy one among them. For all who were owners of lands or houses sold them, and brought the prices of what was sold, and laid them at the feet of the emissaries. And it was distributed to each as anyone had need.
I mean, so here you get the fellowship, deliverance, you get your needs met. I mean, guys, I mean, I can't think of a better setup that we have here. This is the best setup, I mean, that you could ever have. Israel is a tribal people. We were created to be more set up to be more in a tribal setting and not this individualistic lifestyle that you see now. There was no needy among. I can honestly say there's no needy among us. You have leadership oversight, distribution by needs, one heart, and everybody that gave voluntarily. No one was coerced. No one put a gun to anybody's head and say, give us all that you have, even to be on community. I mean, I know I vet people, say, do you want to be on community? Yep. And they voluntarily give. I've never forced anybody to say, you got to give. And if you don't give, we're going to, whatever. All right, let's go here. We're almost done here. Go to Leviticus 19:32. Did you read all that? Did you read all that?
I did read all that, yep.
Okay, go.
Rise in the presence of the aged and honor the face of an old man and fear your Elohim.
See, living on community, I get the luxury of seeing what it's like. I was just talking to Roger, Brother Roger. I'll call him Brother Roger because he's been with me when I was a Christian or in the world and now in the truth. And even Roger said there's a stark difference. My dad needs 24-hour care. That's where he's at right now. And the fact that I can do it in here and not in the facility, Roger said he's been doing care for for over 30 years. 30 years he's been taking care of elderly people, people who has needs, special needs people, whatever, starting with his own brother. He believed he was born to take care of those who had needs. And he said he only knew of 2 people, me and another guy. And he says, for your father to get he says your father is getting better care than any facility that he's ever experienced. Ever. I don't care how much money, how nice it looks in the communal area where they eat and it looks like a hotel. He says, your father's getting the best care. We have doctors that come here and he's just looking. He looks at my dad like this. He'd be looking like, wow. Like because my dad sometimes can't talk. He says, you must be a very special guy. This guy is a Catholic, a doctor. He just come here to do his job and he's blown away with he says, whoever you are, you must be special. And I remember talking to the doctor. I'm like, doctor, don't everybody do this? He was shaking his head. No, this is not normal. This is abnormal. This is abnormal. This is not a normal thing. What your father is getting is not normal. Do you hear me?
Right.
It's not normal. Less than 1% from all his years of thing, less than 1% is experiencing the care that my dad has gotten from his experience. He said he's a doctor, so he said he took care of his dad when he's old, and he says at the same level or even better than what he had for his father, and he's a doctor. He has to come here. We pay him. I love that doctor because the way he's kind of not in the system, but in the, I don't know what you call him because they call him primary, what do you call it? Direct primary care.
Yeah.
So no insurance. He literally comes with his black bag and, do whatever he got to do and take 2 and call me in the morning type of deal. But he does that for the elderly. If you're young, you have to go to his office. But man, he says never. And mind you, once again, I'm going to keep bragging about this. When I was in Christianity, because of the selfishness of my ex-wife and her murmuring, complaining to those in the congregation of the church that we used to go to and our Christian friends, she will murmur and complain that my dad is inconvenienced, mess up her date night. She never get time because so much of my time was to care for my father. She murmured and complained. Where I had pastors, elders, Christian friends come to me and convince me that I need to leave my father and my mother and cleave to my wife. Is that not holding the truth in unrighteousness?
Right.
Literally told me that I need to put my dad in assisted living or some type of facility. Guys, I can't make this thing up. I'm just telling you what was told to me. Now, because of my background and my cultural background in Africa, that's not what we do. We don't do that in Africa. You don't do that. And so at the time, I struggled because to me, that's something that we don't do. And so when they were reasoning with me, they said, well, the only reason why they didn't do it in Africa because they didn't have the facility. But in America, we've been blessed with the facility. So why wouldn't you use it? And you got the money. Why wouldn't you do it? I'm like, and they just kept on. And then they convinced me like, hey, look at Solomon. This is what got me. This is what got me. Guys, I was deceived. I was deceived. Because I like I said, I didn't want to do it because I love my dad. And so they convinced me that David, it wasn't like Solomon was literally taking care of his father. Because here in this case, I was physically taking care of my dad, wake him at night, physically taking care of my dad. And they were saying like, how did King Solomon do it? There was a time that David was alive and King Solomon, it wasn't like King Solomon was there taking care of his dad. They had a woman, the young woman, actually one of King David's woman, and he wouldn't lay with her to keep him warm. They said he had some type of care like that, but he had a physique because he was a king, so he had something. So there's nothing wrong with having somebody take care of your dad. And so that kind of convinced me. I said, okay. And by the grace of Yah, I thought it was of God, and maybe it was. I don't know. But we had a new, brand new facility, literally less than a mile. It takes 30 minutes to walk, 5 minutes to get there, driving. And so that was the only reason I looked at it. Okay, I like the setup. It's independent living, so I can, come and visit. There's cookies, so the children want to eat. They want to come and visit because they get treats. It was nice, and it was right around the corner. So I ended up doing it, and I did it. Then the facility got changed. But long story short, I did it for 3 or 4 years, and then during that time, that's when my ex-wife leaves me. At the time, she was my wife, but she left. And so and I still had to go over there at nights to change my dad's. At night I had to put on an equipment for him to sleep at night for
Elder.
continence purposes.
Elder.
Yes.
Continue. I got to take a short break.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to duty calls.
Okay. I can keep going, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But don't take it too long now. But anyway, I had to. I'm going to keep this until Deacon gets back because maybe I can control stuff. But I had to go to the there every night. Every night I had to put him to bed and put on the special thing for him. So while doing that, I'm now going through a divorce. My family's left. You guys know the whole story. I don't need to repeat. But the point I'm trying to say, can you imagine still caring for my father, trying to be there for my wife and my children? I'm just being spread thin. Man, when you saw me, man, I didn't even know it at the time, but I was oppressed. I was an oppressed person. I remember somebody asked me, said, "Why are you oppressed?" I said, "What are you talking about?" Because it was so normal. It was so normal to be oppressed. I'm trying to make this woman happy. I got to be there for the children. I got to be there for the dog. I got to be there for my dad. I got to do. I was just all over the place doing everything. If I couldn't do it, I had to outsource. I had to get somebody to cut my grass. I get somebody to clean my house because, God knows you can't ask your wife of that because that's ungodly for a Christian man to ask his wife to clean the house, to take care of the children. If I need somebody to take care of the children, I got to get a babysitter. If I need somebody to, I had to hire somebody to take care of my dad. I'm just literally running around with my head cut off, trying to, and I was able to get still a lot done, which is crazy. And it wasn't until I had to do my CFP that I realized how much I had on me. Because I had to relinquish that because I failed the test the first time to get my certified financial planner credentials. And it required, they said, man, they said, okay, your God can come first, but the second next thing has to be this test, this CFP designation. So that's what they told me. I'm like, and I was still trying to do all this stuff, go to school, get my CFP, and and then the second time I got it, but I had to relinquish. And then when I was relinquishing everything, I was okay, wife, you do this. You got to be my helpmeet. And I was just relinquishing a lot of things so I could just focus on studying. That's when I found out, like, man, I do a lot. But it was so normal because I'm so used to doing it anyway. But when I had to relinquish it so I could just wake up, I literally ate, slept finance. I read books, calculation, because when you take the test, you take a 7-hour exam, closed book. You get a calculator. This is all you can bring in right here in your test. You get a calculator like this that you can take in. I don't know. Matter of fact, you can't even take this calculator. They give you a calculator. It's a basic calculator. They don't even give you this. I just remember that because you can put tests in there. They give you a basic calculator, a dry board that you can erase, and a pen. And then when you walk into the test center, they literally search going through. It's like worse than going through on a plane. They check your pockets, your socks. You have to leave everything has to be put in the locker. And you go in there. When you go into the restroom, they got to do another search. Just make sure you don't have anything, phone or anything like that. Boom. You get 1 hour break, 7-hour exam. First time I failed because I was doing too much. Second time, I said, I'm going to beat it. A righteous man falls 7 times. I'm going to go back and do it again. And I did it. And the second time I passed. And I said, wow. And that's when my marriage started falling apart. So I say all this stuff, guys, man, it was a lot. But the Christian church told me to put my dad in assisted living. Deacon, you're back, right?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, good. But let me wrap it up because I was waiting for you to start. But then all of a sudden I get in the ministry And my dad, I'm paying $3,000 a month, and he's not even getting the type of care he's getting now, but not at all. But $3,000 a month I was paying, and then pastor said, "Hey, we will send you a sister." This is a pastor in Tennessee, still in Tennessee, telling me I'm a new brother. He says, "Hey, that's not how we do it in Israel. It's like Africa. That's not what we do in Africa too." I got an American so-called black pastor telling me this is not what we do. That's not how you treat your elders. He said, you go get your father, you bring him back home. We'll send you a sister to go take care of him, who take care of the elderly. All you got to do is give her a place to stay. You see? Pastor didn't give me money, He just gave me practical stuff that I needed. I mean, it's not like I couldn't afford it. I was paying $3,000 a month. For 3 years, I did that. I went through my whole HRA. My whole HRA that's over $200,000 if I do the math, over maybe even 4 years. But $200,000 went towards taking care of my dad. Gone, depleted, gone. And pastor said, "You send them there, we'll send a sister up there." We had a sister. She was here for a little bit. I think only 3 months. She left. And then an elder, he felt led at the time, says, "Hey, I see you in need." See, this is the love. "Hey, we have a sister. She has 2 children. Hey, if you can take her, I mean, hey, you know." I said, "We'll take her," because we only had one sister, Deacon's woman.
Right.
We only had her. So we were looking for some sisters. So then all of a sudden, she came. And it ended up becoming my woman eventually. So now I got a woman who's been taking, and that's what really won my heart. I saw the love that she cared for my dad, the way she took care of him. And then eventually I took her on as a concubine. And eventually she became my woman. And she was having children. Then we started running into issues because she was having babies. And she couldn't take care of my dad. So then we'll get other sisters to come in temporarily to help out, you know. And then that wouldn't last that long. And then again, she gets pregnant. She was getting pregnant like boom, boom, you know, back to back. We had 3 babies in 3 years. I mean, Kyrisha's a man, I tell you. But anyway, but she was having babies. Great. Be fruitful, multiply. Hallelujah. But the point I'm trying to say is that I needed help. So eventually I said, I had to go to Bree. I said, "Bree, I need your help." And it wasn't something that Bree said, "Okay, great, I want to do," but it was because it's like it was never considered. But I said, "I need your help," you know, and mind you, Bree is now coming in this one. She has children. So she, you know, the children stuff is kind of her just learning that. And all of a sudden she had to get in the game. And then so she started helping me and then she was even asking like, "Well, can we get some else?" I said, "No, I don't want to depend on something. I want to keep it in my house so I don't have to be so dependent on other people. I want to keep it in my house." And now years later, now that it's been 3 years or whatever, but now years later, I got 2 women, 2 of my helping me to take care of my dad. Literally. But the first one, everything was outsourced. Babysitting outsourced, private school was outsourced, cleaning outsourced. I mean, literally, the only thing I didn't have to outsource is washing clothes. That she could do. And even cooking was outsourced. But supposedly being a part of this ministry is bad, a cult, whatever that all means. But I got 2 women who's willing to help me to help my elderly father. Literally help me. And then with time, now Deacon's involved. He's now helping me care for my father. And I'm talking about getting there, getting his hand dirty, helping my father. Sometimes we got to call the big guns because I'm not there. Brother Tristan comes in, help me with my dad. Sometimes all the brothers come and help me. I said, "Guys, I got to get my dad to the hospital." Boom. Put him in the thing. They say you can hire a moving service to come and get the elderly to take them to their doctor appointment. I said, "Wait a minute, we got a van. I got brothers." So we literally take my dad on instead of getting a lift, the brothers, 1, 2, 3, boom. My dad don't even have to leave the wheelchair. Boom, we can take him in. They take the car. I take him in. Boom, come back. I'm on the walkie. Say, "Guys, we coming out." They come out. Boom, get my dad up. I'm like, wow, look at this. Look at the community hands. Many hands make the work light. And now what was hard when I was in Christianity has become lighter, has become easier because I got more help. I mean, Deacon, I appreciate you, Deacon. Do you feel like you a slave or something?
No.
Do you feel like, man, you helped me with my dad? You know how, is it easy, first of all, Deacon?
It's not easy, but I do it with joy.
I do it with joy. It's not easy. And I got 2 women doing that for me. And every time I get caught up in Christianity talking about my ex-wife and what she was afraid of, I said, hey, let me ask you something. My wife never helped me with my dad. The best that she got from my dad, the best that my dad got from my ex-wife was a cold cereal. That was about it. If my memory serves me well, I can't remember anything else. And you say, oh, well, she got a bunch of children. I said, okay, my women have sons and daughters that they have to contend with and still take care of my father. And thank God for Deacon. I'm just showing the beauty of community. And thank God for Deacon. We have his woman who's a teacher. She's actually has a degree. I don't know what her education. What's her degree in? I don't know.
Yeah, she has a major in education. Yep.
She has a major in education, and she's the head teacher at Providence. I said Providence. It's just
Straightway Praiseland Academy.
Straightway Praiseland Academy. It's still Yas Providence, but anyway, that's my children old school. But at Praiseland, Straightway Praiseland Academy, and she's doing a fine job. So with all this and we don't even have, and I can't wait to get to our new land. So we have more sisters on here that can help with this vineyard, But right now it's peaceful. It's very peaceful. I'm like, man, why is it so peaceful? I'm like, wow, because the unity, because there's more oneness.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, it's good, man. So Deacon, my 2 women, Bree, Carisha, man, I appreciate you guys, man. May y'all bless you for your labor of love. The brothers who's always ready to help. Tristan, I call Tristan because when I'm not there, because I'm the big guy, Deacon sometimes, because of his size, he don't have the leverage. But I'm thankful for Deacon, for Tristan, who's able to help my dad. And sometimes my dad's in a vulnerable situation. There's no this. He does it with care, love, and everything. So may y'all bless each and every one that has a hand. Even Roger. Roger had to retire because he's 70 now or 71. So Roger's been with me since 2010, and he retired last year. That's how many years is that? Almost 16 years.
Wow.
And you know that people was telling Roger like, man, you going to Kabir's house? Aren't you afraid? They got guns. They're a cult. And Roger's looking at them crazy. Like, literally people telling Roger not to help me with my father, even though I'm paying him.
Mm-hmm.
People literally trying to, and he's looking, and because Roger will tell you this himself, he says, if I want to get Roger and do an interview, he would do the interview. But I'm the one that encouraged Roger to read the Bible for himself. I said, Roger wasn't like a church goer. He's still not a church. I don't go to that church, Christian church. But Roger knew about, church and stuff like that. And I said, Roger, and just him coming over, we will have good conversation. I said, Roger, you should read the whole Bible. Just read a chapter a day. And Roger literally has read the whole Bible from Genesis to Revelation. And I told Roger, congratulations. You have done maybe less than 5% of what Christians have actually done. You have actually read the Bible. Now Roger's going through it for the second time, and he says, wow, you were right. I'm seeing more the second time than I did the first time. And you know what's amazing? What Roger says? This blows my mind. It just makes me want to cry a little bit. But Roger is reading the Bible from an American. He's just reading the Bible. And as he's reading the Bible, he sees so much of what we're doing lines up with the word. He's like, you guys are actually doing what's in the book. And it's not like Roger comes to fellowship with us. He comes to the events that we invite him to. But Roger's literally reading the Bible, which most Christians don't do. Let's just admit that. If you talk to any Christian, I said, Roger, you go talk to a Christian pastor. Most of them don't even know what they're in the book. They just get stuff downloaded or some type of thing that they had passed around, some curriculum or some teaching or whatever. And they just rip pieces here and there. But I say, Roger, you have done what less than 5%, and I'm being gracious with the 5%, what less than 5%, even people who go to theological school haven't even done. And Roger says, the things that I read, I know it even more because of what I see you guys are doing. Are you hearing me, Deacon? Am I by my? Is everybody, guys? Do you hear what I'm saying? Please type in a 8 if you hear what I'm saying. Tell me if this is great to your ears. Put in an 8. Are you? This is an outside observer reading the Bible, because I encourage him to read the Bible. But I'm in the cult. I'm anti-Christ or whatever. But I told him to read the Bible, and he's literally reading the Bible, and he literally comes to a home and see what he's reading happening in real life. But when he goes to his Christian friends or out there in the world, he doesn't see it. The only time he sees what he sees in the Bible is when he comes to visit to take care of my dad. I can't make this thing up.
Right.
So that's an eyewitness. So when people are telling him it's scary, he says, first of all, he's been in this industry for over 30 years. And he said, "It's very, like I'm one of the 2 people in his whole life that he sees my dad, or not me, but my dad, get the care that he's getting." He said, "I have never." He says, "You got an amazing setup for your dad. I'm talking about top notch. Like you, there's my dad won't get any type of care like this in that he's ever seen in his life, and he knows the injuries." That's how I found him, is through the Wisconsin aging thing resource. They had a number. I called him, and that's how I think we went through some people, but it was Roger. And Roger, if you know him, he's a very caring person. Like, he doesn't just come in there and just collect a paycheck. He genuinely cares about those that he take care of. So you naturally, like the guy that was hiring him actually said, "Roger, I will pay you $100,000 a year if you would just take this on full time." Because Roger was just doing part time because he has a wife to take care of too, who's a little bit older. And so so Roger's that kind of guy. And so Roger's seen a lot of people, and he said all of his clients have all died on him. Because obviously he's coming in because they need help, and then eventually they die. He says probably my dad's one of the few people, I think he's the only one that didn't die. He's still alive. Even after 15 years, 16 years of service, my dad's still alive. And I honestly believe it's truly by the grace of Yah. And I thank Yah for Pastor Dow. I really thank Yah. I thank Yah for Pastor Dow. Is that bad? I thank Yah for Pastor. Is that worshiping man? Am I worshiping man by saying that? Because Pastor could have did what the other pastor told me to do: put your father in assisted living. But Pastor Dow literally told me, "Get your father out of there. We will send you a sister to take care of your dad." What church you know do that?
Right.
What church do you guys know do that? Yeah, Nastasha. She was the first person that she remembers seeing my dad in that facility. So, guys, this is my testimony. So, what am I supposed to do? Just pastor's a bad man, even though I'm telling you guys, okay, well, pastor treats you different because you're a special case because you're KGB. So I'm the only one that have this testimony of his goodness. I mean, maybe deacon. I mean, you're just a lowly deacon. I mean, I know you're a deacon now, but I mean, maybe. Before me, I mean, how did pastor treat you? Did he treat you bad or something? Because you're a nobody. I know you're somebody, but you're a nobody. But how did he treat you? How did you feel he treated you back in the days?
I have the same testimony. You
have the same testimony, man. What did you do? Are you famous? Or maybe he thought you was King David.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? This is crazy. But people take these lies hook, line, and sinker. It blows me away. But just forget my testimony. See, they just disregard my testimony. Well, Kabir's different. Well, we need Kabir's the guy that pastor used and to draw people in, and but pastor's going to be good to him, but he's going to be wicked to everybody else, which makes no sense. How can somebody, when Jesus, so that means Jesus lied. A good tree produces good fruit and a bad tree produces bad fruit. Anyway, let's keep going. We almost done, guys. So I'm able to take care of my dad. I'm seeing that. We see community allow you to take care of the cradle to grave. When we say cradle to grave, I mean cradle to grave. There's no Christian setup that's set up that way with a lot of love and a lot of power. You won't see that. And this has nothing to do with money, because like I said, I could afford to do it. It's just the only problem is if I would have done it the way the world wanted me to do it, my dad would have been dead a long time ago. And then I guess I'll have time to now go on some vacations and travel the world and do what I want to do and drive my Bugatti and get some girls and I don't know, and just live a meaningless life with no purpose. Go to Deuteronomy. Read. I won't stop you. I'll let you go through the stuff. Read.
And these words which I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk on the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up.
So look at this. So can you guys hear me? So Deuteronomy 6 says, like when I was in Christianity, I literally invested so much time and money to try to rear my sons up because of the verse. And actually, if you go to 4:6-4, it says Yahweh is one. He says to train them up, put this on their body. So teach them as they wake up, as they lie down. And I try to create the environment. But every time I'm teaching my children, my sons and daughters, the way of the Most High Yah, they'll go to school, Christian school. They will go to church and learn something different, because in the world, not everybody had that same passion to raise up their sons and daughters in the way they should go. But now I get to raise up. This is my son right here. I won't need to say his name, but this is my first son in the faith. From Bree, through me, through Bree,
by way of
produce him. This is my first son in the faith. All he knows, he's never celebrated a birthday, never celebrated Christmas, never. I've got to finally, and I had to go through 7 sons and 1 daughter to get this number 9. I had to wait until the 9th baby to be able to finally raise him up in the way he should go, according to Deuteronomy chapter 6. Really 4-8, you should go to. I want to show you guys something. Look at this. I want to show you something here. So look at this. So we got a lot of these, right? So we got this fruit basket, right? It got fruit stuff in here, right? We got some stuff in here. Like, you get it and then you take a knife and then it comes apart, right? Look, I can't even take the thing apart, but you're supposed to use a knife to take it apart, right? Just the stuff that you give to your little seeds, right? To play, right? Look at this. So this was bought by who's this? My dad. So from Bree's dad, right? He wants to give some to his grandchildren, right? So he bought these little food toys as different colors, right? And one thing that happened, right? We were looking at, right? You get onions. I don't know what this is. You get fish. You see this? Now, guys, don't lose this now. Watch out now. Watch. Look, grapes, right? And they're supposed to go into the purple basket, right? Now, some people may get this and get real spiritual, but you know what was so cool that made me so happy? Watch this. Now, I don't know if you can hear him. You can hear him, but he can't hear you because I'm the only one talking. Just right here. So we were going through this stuff, right? So it says, what is this? What is this? Huh? You don't know what it is?
I think it's a pomegranate.
Just tell me if it's clean, or tell me if it's clean or unclean, okay? So look at this. What is this? Clean or unclean? Say it.
Clean.
Okay, that's clean. Okay, let's go through this. A tomato. Is this clean or unclean?
Clean.
Clean. How about this?
Unclean.
This is unclean? That's what they're saying. This is unclean. And they end up throwing it away. I said, no, keep it. We can use this as a way to teach the next generations what's clean and unclean. But my son know the difference between clean and unclean foods. Look at this. And they're just playing. I mean, I can get the next young one. They say clean, clean, unclean. What is this? This is a pumpkin. Is this clean or unclean?
Clean.
See, look at. How about this? Clean or unclean? This is like a little, I don't know, bell pepper. What is this?
Unclean. Clean. Clean.
Huh?
Clean.
Clean. Okay. Look at this, guys. Look at this. How about this? Orange. Is this clean or unclean?
Clean.
Okay. How about this? Hold on. Let me show it to everybody. Look at this. What's this? This clean or unclean?
Clean. Unclean. Unclean.
Why is this? What is this? What's this called?
Crab.
A crab. You see that? He knew that this is unclean. It just made me so happy. I'm like, wow. So the children so they're learning how to discern fruit at a young age. They're learning clean and unclean. So then when we get to, hey, she's in her monthly cycle, unclean. Hey guys, don't see now they know it. Dead person touch, unclean. So now they're starting to, but we can now teach them clean and unclean, not just color. But they were learning that. Okay, you can take this. Good job. Give me 5. Good job. Okay. So I wanted to just show that I couldn't teach my sons and daughter that, because if you was to teach them that in Christianity, they'll say, oh, the law is done away with. The law is done away. So then when you don't eat pork, and because I came from a Muslim background, I had to disguise why I don't eat pork. I had to say, oh, it's for health reasons. Okay. It's for health reasons. Thank God forbid that it was for obedience to the Most High Yah. So I just wanted to show you that so I get to now, because my sons and daughter are around people who are like-minded, one-minded. So they will recognize that's clean, unclean. But if I went to a Christian school, a private Christian school paying $8,000 per head, guess what they're going to learn? They say, oh, you can't eat that. They'll probably get made fun of, or the teacher will say, it's okay. The law is done away with in a Christian school, supposedly reading the Bible. So now when my son wakes up one day and when he can finally read the Bible for himself, he can say, oh, Daddy's just been teaching us what's in this book. This is our book. This is our answer to it. He's not going to read from an abstract perspective. He's going to be able to read it from a concrete perspective. So anyway, I thought that was cool, Deacon. I just because I saw it in the box, and I went, and then I said, hey, Bree, you know it had something. Oh yeah, we threw it away. I said, no, why'd you throw it away? What did the children say? They said, oh, they were telling me it's unclean, unclean. So they wanted to throw it away. I said, guys, no, we can still keep it for teachable purpose. But They recognized that it was unclean. This is not food. This is unclean.
Right.
And I said, how do they know this? Because they watch a thing where when Bree's showing them the animal channel, she says clean, clean, unclean, unclean. So they can go through all the different animals and identify what's clean and unclean.
Crazy, yeah.
But I could do, if I did that with my ex-wife, oh my goodness. Oh, you're legalistic. You're legalistic and the law's done away with. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just like I don't have to deal with a contentious woman when it comes to rearing my sons and daughters in the way they should go. So once again, I got better care for my dad. I can now rear up my sons and daughters in the way they should go because I'm in a community that are one-minded, that's like-minded, and we all walking to follow Yeshua. We're following Pastor Dowd. He follows Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Messiah. All right. I just wanted to share that. So instructions in home life, for real. Read Psalms 133.
Yep. See how good and how pleasant it is for brothers to dwell together in unity.
Guys, this is a true statement. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it is very pleasant. It is very good to dwell with brothers together in unity. That hands down, that's a true statement. And if you other brothers want to come in and say it's not true, then say it's not true. Be honest, guys, and let the devil be ashamed, man. Let's be honest. I can say it's good. Deacon, you can speak because you got a voice. The man behind the mic. Hey, tell us, is it pleasant? Is it good? Like the Bible says it is, or is it just all made up?
No, it's very pleasant.
brothers, sisters, or whoever's in here, right. Put 8 if it's good or pleasant. Now, here's the key. But if you have somebody wicked amongst you, it's not good and it's not pleasant. So this key word, together in unity. See, if you're together and you're contentious, it's shitty. That's a shitty situation to be in. But when you're in unity, it is good. It is pleasant. It is pleasant. That's what I'm saying. Like this, man, I said, commute, man, this is like it was. I thought it was good when we left the world, so you could tell the difference between there. Because, like I said, it was like a dripping faucet. It wasn't overt, but as we kept doing this stuff, it just became harder and harder and very just draining and tired and like, man, and you're dealing with the word out here, but you're internally dealing with something here, and it was just, whew. But then once we got delivered from that, oh my goodness, now we still got the issue out there that we always have to contend with, but to know that I can come home and this is a safe place. We don't have to worry about somebody recording us, trying to entrap us, ask us questions to try to incriminate us. That's what we were living, guys. We were living with a brother literally taping us, recording us, trying to get us to entrap ourselves, using sermons. You may have seen using sermons that was preached in an example about the word of Yah, using it so he can give it to the world out there. So they could come in here and destroy and break up the unity. The very thing that Yah says is good, we got a person that was once called a brother who now is trying to destroy this very thing that Yah calls good. Look at not one single brother that's in on community here at Praiseland, they all put 8s.
Yep.
But we have somebody out there coming in here who was once amongst here, came here, spoke well, and now he's trying to destroy the very thing that Yah calls good and pleasant. Look how they broke it down, how good and pleasant. Break it down. It even goes all the way. Read.
It is like the precious oil on the head running down on the beard of Aaron, running down on the edges of his garments, like the dew of Hermon, coming down on the mountains of Sion. For there Yahweh commanded the blessing, life forevermore. And
the only way I can even relate to this oil coming down, I just remember when I got anointed elder, an ordained elder, and they anointed oil on my head, and it was coming down. But now, maybe because the emotion, I was just thinking like, wow, what an honor that Yah will call me to take care of his people, to be a steward. And I'm just thinking like the power when the leaders were putting their hands on me and blessing me to give me the power to be able to lead people, the people of Yah in his everlasting ways, to give me the wisdom, bro. And now we got somebody who's claiming to be a follower of Yeshua HaMashiach, follower. And he's the same one. How can he be a follower of Yeshua and destroy the very thing that Yah has established? He says it was own mind. Is he not blaspheming?
Straight up.
He's blaspheming the Holy Spirit. This is a beautiful thing. Yah loves unity. He loves oneness. And now you got ministers, people who so-called was ministers even in the ministry before, no longer coming here, and they say they specialize in destroying communities. Specialize. He said that out of his own mouth. Did he say that? Or did I only hear that?
No, you said that. Yeah.
So, guys, I'm just telling. I hope you guys have ears to hear. Blessed are those who have ears to hear. Let's go. So, unity, blessing follows dwelling. So, blessings follows dwelling together. Unity is commanded. Go to Galatians 6.
Bear one another's burdens. So complete the Torah of Messiah.
I already showed you guys. Taking care of my dad when he was even more mobile, it was a burden. It was a burden. But now I got women, I got brothers. We call them deacon. I got brothers, literally helping they sharing the burden of it. So now it's not a burden because it used to be all on me. Now it's not all on me anymore. even when I was paying for it, even though I was paying for it, it was still a burden because I still had to make the money to pay for those support. So it's just going out. I had to maintain a lifestyle, and I can still maintain it, but I still wanted to go work to make sure I can maintain it until, whenever. I don't know. I guess until I die. I guess, Mutual responsibility. See, it's no longer me. And when you think about even the burdens, I mean, it was Deacon's idea to say, hey, we can cut your grass. Well, Deacon, why did you offer that? Or did I tell you, Deacon, you're my slave. I need you to cut this grass.
No, because this is my home too. So I wanted to partake in taking care of our home. It wasn't a transactional.
Did I give it up easy? Was I quick to want you to cut the grass? I said, take it.
We took it a step at a time.
You took the step. So that's how that ended up happening. We bought a snow blower, a tractor, and I was going to use it to clear the snow because, Brother Shannon convinced me to get this tractor. And so I got this little thing, and I'm in there doing it. And then Trish is out there just freaking doing the snow. I'm like, can you leave anything for me, please? And we're fighting. Now I don't even do it anymore. Not because I don't want to do it, but there's somebody who has the time, who likes to do it, used to do it, and looks forward to doing it. So now he's doing it, and he does it with joy. Now he could go in here and maybe he's oppressed. Maybe he's being forced to do something. So this is community. I mean, you have to say, I used to do everything, and so I had to relinquish it. I said, okay. Then it frees me up so I can even do more and take this community to greater heights. Now it frees me up to take care of things that normally wouldn't get taken care of on community. Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay, read. So mutual responsibility. Burdens are shared. Go to James 1:27.
Clean and undefiled religion before Elohim and the Father is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress and to keep oneself unstained from the world.
We are keeping ourselves unstained from the world. So we get in, do what we got to do, and come back. We're able to take care of the widows. We're able to take care of the distress. See, my dad is a widow. My father's a widow. We're able to take care of the orphans. And then make them no longer an orphan because now they can be adopted into a family. So we're doing it. We're doing what this book is saying. We care for those who are vulnerable. This is faith in action. This is not just speaking words. Somebody said, well, why you practice polygyny? I said, well, the polygyny, they're taking care of my dad. And your one wife wouldn't even lay a finger. What about that? Well, they have insurance for that. You can put them in the assisted living. That's what they're telling me. I'm like, are you kidding me? Wow. I'm thankful. Even from a community perspective, but even in the polygyny, I see how polygyny it can be a blessing to a home. Read Proverbs 23:20. Proverbs 23, verse 22. Read.
Yeah, I read this one, right? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Listen to your father who brought you forth, and do not despise your mother when she is old.
So listen to your father who brought you forth. Do not despise him. You can even go and read Sirach 3. It really talks about caring for your father. And don't despise your mother when she's old. See, that means we're commanded to take care of our elderly parents. Because it does get hard. It is hard. And we need to be gentle. We don't need to give attitude. We don't need to be rolling our eyes or just be patient. Be patient because sometimes they're going to do things that they can't control. Sometimes they're going to say things that seem so mean. But you just be patient with them. You work with them. They're going through a moment. They're having a moment. Can you imagine being able to do all these things in your strength, and then all of a sudden you get to a point you become like a baby again, and this time you have all this experience, all this knowledge, and now you can't even do the simple things that you used to do as you age. And we're all going to get old one day. And see, that's another thing. I'm thinking about that. Who's going to take care of me? But now, guess what? I got my son. He saw He saw what I did for my dad. Guess what he's going to do? So I got to take care of my dad. He's going to have that same love to take. Now, the ones I lost, they're not going to take care of me. They will not take care of me. You know what they're going to do? They're going to do exactly what they saw me do. They're going to put my black ass in an assisted living or some type of shit. And then they're going to go on vacations and go to all the shit they want to do, what they want to do. You know why? Because that's what their mom is teaching them. Their mom is teaching them, you don't honor your father, and you don't honor your grandfather. Don't even go visit him. That's what they're learning in Christianity. In Christianity, that's what they're learning. That when your father gets old, matter of fact, it's wrong for your father to expect you to take care of him. The best way you can take care of, let Social Security take care of him. Let the nursing home take care of him, because you shouldn't have to lose your life. You go have fun. Live it up. You didn't ask to come into this world. So why should you have to stop your whole life to take care of your elderly father or your elderly mother? But guess what? The rooster's going to come back, because the same thing she taught them how to do to their father, they're going to end up doing it to their mom. Say, Mom, we want to live life. We don't want to be, what's the word? We don't want to be, we want to be free. We don't want to be underneath the shadows of the burden of taking care of you. You taught us how to do what we want to do.
Yeah, sidelined.
Sidelined. We don't want to be sidelined because of your health. Why should we be sidelined because you got to live your life? Can we live our life too?
Crazy.
But I'm glad I have a son. I have a son who's gonna take care of me, and at least I have a community who's gonna take care of me. I hope I live a long life. I hope I'm healthy, and that I die. Even if I'm 120, I still have strength in my bones that I can go to battle, and then just die. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a burden, but if I am, then God forbid. I pray I live a long life and I prosper in all that I do till I go home or till he comes back. So anyway, guys, I'm telling you, community is a good thing. There's so many things that I want to just say, but like everybody's taken care of. Show me what it looks like to live. Guys, I had money. I was considered a millionaire, and I'm telling you, this has nothing to do with having money. It just has to do with people coming together under Yah, under Yah, the Almighty, and keeping His commandments and doing what the book, putting all our resources. I know we got we have a lot of resources, but even that, just us combine all work and doing the stuff that we do and bringing our resources together, and it's taking care of the community. So I love community. I truly believe community is the way to go. And I'm going to teach my sons I'm going to tell them to teach their sons to always stay in the tribal setting. Don't leave this place. If you leave this place, you're getting cut off. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I'm going to say my closing statement for the last one. What do you think, Strike? Do you have something?
Yeah, we have some reactions here.
Okay.
Family. You can help each other find the meaningful path and stay on it. And you can't do that alone. And probably just having a partner isn't enough. You need kids, likely, to keep you sane or to drive you crazy, depending on the nature of your children, let's say. You need family. You need your parents. You need your siblings. You need another community around you that's not merely your wife, because you're so crazy that it takes a village to keep you sane. And then surrounding that more intimate web of kinship, you need friends. And friends keep you sane. Well, how? Well, that makes them want to be around you to have friends. And that means that to maintain your friendships, you have to be saner than you really are, right? They have to be able to enjoy their time with you.
You see, this is coming from a worldly perspective. Who's this? Peterson?
Jordan Peterson, yeah.
Who?
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. I mean, this is coming from a worldly perspective, Christian, maybe more Christianist. But even he's recognized you can't do this alone. You can't live this life alone. That's the first thing. And then even though he's saying you need to have people around you, friends in another community and friends, let me tell you what he is, because it's so hard for him to say because they're so selfish. But you have to have friends who are like-minded. One, because if I believe this and you guys are always fighting, it's not going to work out. And so you need to find people who are on the same page. But it's really that oneness. He's talking about friends. Because usually if you have friends, they like to do things together, go to the bars or go vacation. I don't know. But I guess they have a lot of things in common. That's what makes them friends or whatever. But we're a friend of Yah, right? So because of the friendship that we have with Yah, it allows us to be friends and brothers and sisters and be one-minded with our friend, Yah. So I mean, hey, this is just a testament that what we're doing is special. And the world sees it. They can talk about it. Look how he's talked about it in a very abstract way. But he's trying to, but I'm talking from experience. You could tell he's never lived that life. He just understands from a philosophical perspective. That's a good one. What do you think, Deacon? I mean, I guess my reaction, but that's a good one.
I mean, I've seen it, but yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I got another one.
Okay.
More about what it means to be human, civilian, what do you want to call it, from the military than from anybody else who doesn't wear a uniform, which is, I understand, and I learned a long time ago, which is my own sense of camaraderie and brotherhood and sisterhood and community is the thing that helps me stay inspired, is the thing that saves me when I'm in a dark place, is the thing that motivates me. And it's hard in this modern day and age to find an intense sense of community or love in the general population. And I think technology makes it even more difficult, because we're connected, but we're not connecting. Right. And when I started hearing stories from people that I met in the military about brotherhood and sisterhood, and again, you call each other brothers, I wanted to learn, quite frankly, because my complaint was, why can't I have that? Right. Why can't we all have that? Why can't everybody have that?
That guy says so beautifully.
Yeah.
But listen to this. I don't know who he is. Who is this guy?
Simon Sinek. He's an author. He's a business mogul. I mean, he's a few things.
Okay. But look at how come this business mogul, whoever he is, he's abstractly trying to understand, how come I can't have that? And look how freaking crazy this part is. This is the part I picked up on. The closest thing he can think of when it comes to community was the military. He did not mention not one single Christian church. Not one single church. He didn't even think of Christianity. He didn't even think of Islam. He went to, and military is more like a community because they got to do things so they live life together. They got to fight together, eat together.
They have a brotherhood.
They have a brotherhood.
Yep.
So he had to go to the military to find community. Now, he never probably heard a straight way. He's probably discouraged because this is a cult. But what he described, I have. I have what he's describing. I don't have to go to the military to get it. Now, before straightway, the closest thing that I got to community was playing in the NFL or college ball. That was the closest thing, but more in the NFL because of you got family. But that was the closest. I think I was more close in college, but that was the closest that we got. And I remember telling myself, how come if Christianity and football came together, that will fit what I see in the Bible? Because there was no unity in Christianity like you see in the Bible. But every time I read about unity, oneness, togetherness, boom, 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 I saw that more in my time playing football. either college, high school, it didn't matter, just being on a football team because we did a lot together. We traveled together, we ate together, we did training camp. We did, but I'll have to venture to say that I bet you the military is even is what I experienced in football is that on steroids in comparison. Guys, I found it. And even Pastor, who's a former military man, and we got a military guy here with us, that this is it. We got something that when we can read this Bible, boom, we got it. So look what he's, and this is a rich man. Is he a rich man? This guy that's speaking, who's this guy again?
Simonson. Yeah, I mean, I think they're both rich. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who this guy is, but
Yeah.
very wealthy guy. What did I tell you guys? Did I not tell you that I'm a millionaire? Did I not tell you that I'm famous? And the more I went up, if that's what up is, let's say the world getting up to the into the upper echelon of the class system, the further I went up, the more empty it becomes. And the lower I went, the closer I got to people, the more love I experienced. That's the honest truth. And he's literally telling you what's lacking with people who got a lot of money, a lot of resources. They got big homes, and then they're all by themselves, lonely. And they desire that connection, that community, that love. They're not going to get it up there. That's
I like how he said we're more connected, but we're not connecting.
Yeah, but see, look at we live in a modern time.
Yeah.
And we're connecting. Why? Because we do in community. We live in life together. We put our resources together. We take care of one another. We got deliverance. We can anything. When our brothers do, we lay hands, we pray, we cast out. Wherever we need, we take care of it. So I know what that guy's talking about. I know exactly. He just haven't found it. I realize that's why he says for the kingdom of heaven, he says easier for a camel to go in the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom. Right?
Right.
Because what happens is the more you go up, the great temptation is to let it go. It's hard to let it go. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard when you have acquired so much, family, everything. Now, for me, I already figured out the money game. I said, okay, it's not about money. To me, I start learning that money is more of a tool than my identity or whatever. As long as I can have a roof over my head, have my basics, I'm good. But my family was huge. That was hard. And so for me to choose this way and to lose my family to people I don't even know, I see what they're doing. I see the fruit of it, but so that's why when Yeshua says to save your life, you got to lose your life. But if you save your life, you lose your life. And so that's what a lot of rich people fall for. A lot. I don't know too many people who's rich and can lose their life. A lot of them are would rather save their life to lose their life. Very few people would do what I did or what Elder Rob did. Very few people will do that. Very few. I only know of Rob and myself. That's it. I don't know too many people that would experience the people we have experienced and being around the people we've been around that'll be willing to choose this way of life. And I'm talking about we in a position to still maintain that lifestyle. So anyway, praise God. This is good. That was a good example. So right here, what we have, very few people have. When the doctor comes here and see what he's in awe. He's not used to seeing people live like that because he don't see that out there. And everybody that comes to visit don't see that out there. But then you have people who lived here with us who's now out there trying to destroy it because he has this mentality, if I can't have it, no one else can have it. So they want to blow up the whole shit. That's their prayer. Their prayer is that this whole thing gets blown up because they're no longer a part of it. Isn't that crazy? That's a selfish mentality. Anyway, I'm done. That's my reaction. Let me calm down. Well, Deacon, this is long. See, look at I realized something. I just figured something out. When I don't plan it, it goes longer. And when I plan it, I can stay within that time. Anyway. Anyway, let me. This is my closing statement, guys. So we read Acts 2 and Acts 4 shows us that community is not a theory. It is a practice of love. It protects the elder. Children, sons and daughters are raised intentionally. Resources are shared freely. Burdens are carried together. Unity is preserved. Needs are met quietly. This is what the scriptures present as fruit. And so when people ask what righteous community looks like, the answer is not a speech. It is a life. And I just told you there's people who come here and we don't tell them, hey, look at community. They just see a difference. Let us measure ourselves by the word and continue to build what he's commanded. So guys, don't listen to all the noise. You're going to hear all these bad things about straightway. If they're not a part of us, they were never of us. Okay. These people obviously are out there. They're tormented. They're experiencing what it looks like to be out there. It's lonely out there. Where are you going to go? You have a very wealthy man telling you, how come I can't have that? You know what his problem is? I got all this money. How come I can't have that? Are you telling me I have to go to the military to have that? Well, maybe. Maybe you got to join the military to get that. But here at Straightway, you don't have to go to the military. You just got to go into the army of the Most High Yah. And we're here. We're here. We're living this book out. And I plan on living this to the day I die. Clip it, save it, watch my words. I'm going to be a part of this assembly. Because this assembly, Straightway Truth Ministry, led by Pastor Charles Dowd Jr., this is the inheritance of the Most High Yah. So I'm done. Deacon, you have anything?
No.
Huh?
I don't have anything, no.
All right. Well, guys, that's all we have for you. I know this was a bit long, but we'll get you guys some little sound bites and chop it up. But until next time, guys, remember to always be faithful in the little things. Until next time, shalom, shalom.